All right, this is my deep breakdown of Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. And I made sure I have some sources to back up what I think the fight's going to play out like. So I watched, it was a Mill City interview, and then I forgot who was doing the other interview. But I'll cite both my sources in my description. The Mill City interview, it was, I think it was Yolani Hernandez, and he was talking about basically how the sparring between Boots and Canelo Crawford's, how it had looked. Obviously, he has to keep some details, but he was given basically just on how it kind of looked. I'll put a screenshot also of like someone that speaks Spanish. They broke down basically what he was saying for us English speakers. And basically he was explaining how Canelo was handling Boots. And he said from what it looked like, Canelo was able to handle Boots a little bit better than Boots was able to handle Canelo. Now, obviously, I know Terence Crawford isn't Boots. We already know Terence Crawford does have a better IQ. But again, now going on to my next video. Now going on to the next video I watched. The next video was with Kyron Davis. And Kyron Davis, he fought Yolani Hernandez. But in his interview, he talks about his experience sparring Canelo and Terence Crawford. He sparred Terence Crawford, I think, when he was getting Terence Crawford ready for Sean Porter. Now, when he sparred Terence Crawford, he did say Terence Crawford's a little bit faster. Obviously, Canelo should be stronger. He's I'm not going to say he's bigger. He's more adjusted to 168 in the proper way. And he said when he sparred both of them, Terence Crawford's a little bit easier to hit versus Canelo. And now, thinking after him saying that, I was like, dang, I already thought that because, for example, when I watched Canelo Alvarez, let's say with Bivol, because that's his last loss. When I watched him fight Bivol had to throw an output of 740 something punches just to land 100 and I forgot the exact number he landed, but I'll probably put a picture of the CompuBox of it on the screen. But just so he can land that many punches on Canelo, he had to throw that. His output had to be that big. Terence Crawford doesn't have the same output. You never know on the fight, the night of the fight, that output could his output could change. And now with Canelo's defense, I really think just with how Terence Crawford fight at the video, it had ended. But with Terence Crawford's style and how he fights, I feel like I think it could favor the way Canelo fights because obviously, you know, there's that interview where Canelo said when they asked him about his head movement, he said, oh, when I'm fighting bigger guys, I don't have to do all that because they're slow. But when he was fighting at 160, I think he fought Daniel Jacobs at 160, if I'm not mistaken. Triple G at 160. When he fought those guys, he had to use head movement because they're a little bit more faster and I guess more mobile than, let's use Callum Smith, for example, or Billy Joe Saunders, because those are 168 pounders and they're bigger guys. And that it makes sense, but again, we need to see it on fight night or I need to see it on fight night to affirm, like, all right, that actually was why. I still think he is gonna have better head movement, but I just want to see it on fight night to affirm, like, all right, now I trust, I guess, the way I predicted this because this head movement, but I'm still gonna have Canelo by decision. I was thinking about giving it maybe the KO just because of how good Canelo is at countering, and then how I feel like he might be able to set him up into like basically being KO'd. But I'm gonna be safe and go with a unanimous decision. If Crawford could pull this off, I am gonna give him all the praise in the world though. Let me know what you guys think, and I'm out.